Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, as always, Brad Drake, and this is my AWA save. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday, week 2 of October 1987, and the AWA is just steaming along as we travel back to Colorado for live event tour date number 96. So, we are expecting over 6,500 fans tonight. We are going to once again run the Odeum in Colorado. That should give us a sellout here, and it's the best venue for us. So we're going to go ahead and select the venue. Let's take a look and see if we have any backstage incidents, which we most likely do. Oh, Mike Starr, what do you got going? Mike Starr bought drinks for everybody. One hell of a guy. And an incident involving Hennig at Bockwinkel. This isn't good. They're our main event tonight. What do you think's going on here? Curt Hennig was brought the champion, the world heavyweight champion, was an hour late. Wow. Gotta talk, champ. That's unacceptable. Okay, everybody, let's run down our card for this show. Candi Devine is going to battle Debbie Combs in our opener. Kanichiki and Rich are going to face the Nasty Boys. Eddie Guerrero and Pat Tanaka are going to once again give us a technical display. Sherri Martel, this needs to be corrected. Wendy Richter is going to challenge Sherri Martel for the World Women's title. As we know, Sherri Martel once again captured the title after the title was held up by President Stanley Blackburn. Baron von Rachke is going to lock horns with Bobby Duncum. The Iron Sheik is going to mix it up with Billy Robinson. The Russians are at war with Slater and Snuka in the semi-main. And in our main event, former heavyweight champion of the world, Nick Bockwinkel, is going to face current heavyweight champion of the world, Curt Hennig. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. So our first match is Devine versus Combs. I don't remember who's doing what in their matches around the circuit. So we're going to take a look and make sure one isn't getting too far over on the other. Okay, Candi Devine won the last match between these two, so we're going to go ahead and put Debbie Combs over. Our next match is Kanichiki and Rich versus the Nasty Boys. And we might as well put Kiniski and Rich in here as a team since they've been tagging for a while. Oh, they are. They are in there already. What am I doing? But they're not showing here. See that? Kiniski and Rich, but they're not showing it. They're in there. Maybe one of them is out. That's probably what's taking place. We didn't take a look at who was absent tonight. And that's exactly it. Nick Kinichki's doing a job for the WWF, so we have to fill in here. We can either A, give Johnny Rich a new partner, which I don't like to do, or we can choose one of our other tag teams. And I always like to give people more work for more experience, so why don't we put the Top Guns in there tonight against the Nasty Boys. Let's see what AutoName does here. Takes care of it for me. Now that I like for tag teams, but for singles matches, I don't like it. We'll leave that one open-ended. We'll let the AI decide who's going to win. Next, we have Guerrero versus Tanaka, 12 minutes. And we're going to check these two to make sure one isn't getting too far over the other either. Both these guys are real young here, but again, this would have been one hell of a match. Both these guys were talented. Okay, Tanaka won the last one, so Eddie Guerrero is going over this one. There we go. And our next match here is Wendy Richter versus Sherri Martel. And Richter once again begins the chase. I think this match is a 14-minute bout, and it is. I usually don't like to do screwy stuff with titles like that. Obviously, I made a mistake by doing the tainted thing that caused that change, but it's okay. It mixes things up, keeps things fun. We're just not going to make a habit of it. So our faces have gone over quite a bit on this card, so we're going to make sure that Sherri Martel goes over. And see, this is the issue here. Before I had clicked on tainted, and it does allow for the titles to change hand. So now I know. All right, that one's booked up. Yes, you're right. I forgot to put the title in there. Now, I have been getting some emails lately from people asking me if I am going to bring in the international television title. This title did kick off in early 1988, and I don't think I'm going to, folks. In the real world, the AWA at that time had pretty much abandoned the light heavyweight title, and they brought in the international title, television title, as their secondary title. The AWA is just too small. We don't need a whole lot of secondary titles. We already have a women's title. I like the fact that we have a light heavyweight division, and I'm not going to bring in the TV title. I could change my mind, but as of right now, I do not plan on it, folks. So for those of you that were asking, there's my answer for you. I do not plan on using the title. Pretty happy with what we have. All right. So our next bout here is Von Rachke versus Duncum. We're going to leave this one open-ended, even though I'm sure Duncum is going to get the win. At this point, he's a more marketable star. Even though he is only 1 year younger than Von Rachke. Let's take a look here and see what they've been doing. You know what? We're putting the Baron over. We're doing it. We did a good job building up Duncum when he first came in, so it's time for him to start doing the favor too, and this will just keep this feud hot. Sheik versus Robinson. Now we know that the Iron Sheik was refusing to do the favor for Billy Robinson before. I think we got that worked out. And let's make sure that we did, because Billy Robinson is going over. Yes, I realize the faces are starting to go over a little too much on this card, but that's the way we're going to do it. Let's have, just to square this up a little bit, let's have Robinson go over by DQ. So we fixed the problem now. The Iron Sheik is willing to lose. Good. That's the way it always should have been. And let's have the Russians versus Slater and Snuka, and let's do something crazy. If we can, let's have the Russians go over here. I know it's insane, but we got to get some balance in this feud. I'm not sure Slater or Snuka will allow it, though. That could be the problem. So let's have Zhukov go over, manager interference, of course. And let's see if they go for it. And they do. It's going to be okay. All right, fair enough. And in the main event, Curt Hennig is going to defend his newly won World Heavyweight title for the first time. So this is exciting. I'm still pumped over Curt Hennig's title win. It was a long time coming. I think we did it right. And I think the crowd, here's the big thing, white hot momentum. I think the crowd is going to be in a frenzy as he goes around and defends that title. Curt Hennig is going over clean. It's going to be an epic. And there we go. Yeah, you could rest assured they're going to sell out here in Denver, and the fans are going to be in a frenzy to see the new World Heavyweight Champion. Curt Hennig is very popular. These two have been putting on great matches all over the country and into Winnipeg, and this is going to be no different. This is just good for the AWA, and it's good for wrestling. Let's just hope when contract time comes, the WWF doesn't snag Hennig. All right, let's see what's wrong here. Vern's got too much in his hands as the road agent. Mcdaniel, the agent on that one. That'll make us whole here. The show's going 2 hours, 22 minutes. And let's get started. All right, ladies, nice little match here. 44 overall. Nasty Boys get the win over the Top Guns. The Top Guns are still really low. They're just not that talented. They look great, but their popularity is improving. Another low score here. I'm not surprised. Both these men are too new. Nice score for a ladies match. Again, very nice score. And Sherri wins by hitting her with a foreign object. The old brass knuckles in the trunks. I like it. All right. Von Rachke submits Duncum with the brain claw. Awesome. 82, 71, 79 overall. Excellent. Excellent score. This feud continues to heat up. Remember, the feud is Von Rachke and Wahoo, Mcdaniel versus Duncum and Slater. All right, this match gets a very disappointing score of only 58. So Robinson's popularity must be very low in Mid-South. I don't quite understand that again. He was part of the 60s and 70s AWA when they were pretty darn big in Denver. But, oh well, that's what they have there. So Robinson gets the win. Let's see if there was any other drawbacks. So there's inconsistency they're getting hit from and declining physical ability. Besides that, it's got to be Robinson's popularity that draws down that score. 70 overall isn't too bad for guys in their 40s, but we're hoping for a little more. All right, this match only gets a 74 overall, but it did accomplish what we were looking for, and the Russians got a big win over huge megastars, Slater and Snuka. Let's see if there's any takeaways, which there are. I'm sure inconsistency, inexperience, and that's it right there. Both Snuka and Slater are not showing their age yet, so that's good. This was a necessary thing to do, folks. You got to give the Russians some wins. If we were to take a look at it before that, they've lost every bout so far to Slater and Snuka, so they needed it. Our main event gets a big score of 87. Again, I think we should have been around 90 there with a 91 and an 87 overall. Declining physical ability is our only drawback. Everything else is a bonuses up the wazoo, big scores. So that's all right. We'll take it here in Denver. We'll take it. 6,500 person sellout. This is a good show for us, a good draw, and let's finish up. So we increased in the popularity. We still scored an 82 overall, which is an outstanding score. Let's give Wendy Richter some praise here. And next, we got to thank Slater and Snuka for taking that loss for us. Let's make the speech. Pleased, pleased, and pleased. We've seen that one happy from Curt Hennig that one time. It was pretty special. Oh, and there's Jimmy Crockett Jr., who unfortunately passed away last year. He was underappreciated. He did a very good job taking his promotion national. He just made some drastic mistakes that put them under, unfortunately. So let's see what's in our inbox here. See if there's any trash talking. There is not. Championship Wrestling on ESPN got almost 1.4 million viewers. That's a really good score, for a really good number for us. And especially since that's not in the most desirable of time slots. But it's good. We are growing here, folks. We continue to do very well here. And let's take a look at the WWF. There we go. We actually saw Hulk Hogan finally. And oh my goodness, after the match, Honky and Volkov attack Steamboat and Hogan. Those dirty bastards. Morocco and the Samoans versus Beefcake and the Rougeos. As we know, Don Morocco in real life was turning face at this point. He was partnered up with superstar Billy Graham as his new manager, and the Rougeau brothers held on as baby faces for a few more months, but in 1988, they had that big fun heel turn where they had that theme song of All American Boys with Jimmy Hart. Terrific. They were outstanding. I did not appreciate the Rougeaus as much as I should have when I was younger. I just thought they were obnoxious and annoying. I always recognized that they were good in the ring, but I just thought they were obnoxious and annoying. Now I watch them 30 years later and I realize, man, those guys were really good. That was a really good tag team. And I hope the WWE someday puts them in the Hall of Fame. I think they're very deserving of it. I also think the Midnight Express are very deserving of it, and there are a lot of teams and a lot of wrestlers that are very deserving that have not been put in yet. So hopefully, in my lifetime, we'll get to see that happen. Steamboat versus Kamala in the main event, a Saturday night's main event. Roberts over Koloff, so Jake Roberts has turned heel here. So this is not a bad card. Not a bad card at all overall. And let's see if anybody else ran that we want to take a look at. All right, WCW was on. Rogers and Graham in the main event over Bill Irwin and Armstrong. Wow, this is just huge. Meanwhile, you have the Road Warriors, you have the Four Horsemen, you have the Rock and Roll Express. None of them are being used on the main television show here. Now there's a promo with Ric Flair. But how disappointing how this AI works. I just don't understand it. Oh, Garvin and Wyndham attacked the Rock and Roll Express. So Garvin and Wyndham turned heel? Or did this game do the silly thing and turn Gibson and Morton heel? Who knows? And there's a live event. I'm afraid of what this one's going to look like. Luger versus Armstrong in the main event. But I tell you what, they keep this up. Now, granted, they were in the Philadelphia Civic Center. They only draw 560. I retract my statement. I was going to say if they keep this up, they're going to be in trouble financially, but they're not. They're actually doing very well. Memphis ran. Austin Idol versus George Barnes. Who's the future? Oh, that's what they're calling Alan West and Roy Lee Welch, apparently. Wow. Roy Lee Welch is in his 40s there. I don't know. I don't understand these team names. If I had the patience, I would go in and delete every single one of those names so they couldn't give these tag teams these stupid names, but I just don't have the patience yet. Bulldog Bob Brown at age 74 beats Bill Dundee. He's the Central States Heavyweight Champion. Bulldog Bob Brown is 48. He looks like he's 75. I was watching some footage, doing some homework for the database, for the mod, and Bulldog Brown was absolutely awful. He may have been better in the 60s or 70s when he was younger, but at this point in the game, he is awful. But you know who's not? Bill Dundee was not awful. Bill Dundee was a terrific wrestler, terrific on the mic, and in 1987, he's as good as ever. All right, so that's our look around the game world. When we come back, next episode, folks, which is tomorrow, because as you know, we have a new video every day. When we come back tomorrow with tour date number 97, go ahead and make this adjustment, because otherwise I will record the wrong card. You can rest assured of it. We're going to have our big main event of the Midnight Rockers again against the Midnight Express. And huge card. This is actually one of my favorite cards we've been running here with Lawler on it, Saito and Backlund, Jerry Blackwell. This is a good, solid card. Of course, I think Psycho's still out, so we'll make the change for the Texas Hangman. We may put the Nasty Boys in there once again. We'll see. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you're enjoying version 7.0. As you know, we're playing version 6.0 here, but I hope you're enjoying 7.0. And if any of you want the new version 7.0 mod and you don't have it already, contact me at braddrake.net/contact. Also, please give us a like, share our videos here. Let your friends know about it. Let their friends know about it. You tell them to let their friends' friends know about it. And let's keep gaining in our community. Let's keep getting more and more popular. Let's keep getting those numbers up, folks. I thank you all. Please subscribe. That helps us too. Thank you, everybody, for the emails, the comments, and everything. Everybody's enjoying version 7.0 so far, and I'm glad you are. And rest assured, everybody, we're going to keep working on it, and eventually there's going to be a version 8.0, but probably not for a long time. This version 7.0 is about as solid as you can get for historical mod. Again, I strive for historical accuracy, and I don't think you're going to find it much better than what you're going to find in 7.0. It was truly a labor of love. This has all been a labor of love, and we'll continue on here. And if you want to talk with us about the mod on Facebook, go to facebook.com/groups/1987supermod. That's facebook.com/1987. I'm sorry, facebook.com/groups/1987supermod. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.